Hello, guys. Somebody tell me if they can hear me. No, I don't. I don't know how to set most of this stuff up. So, somebody comment if they can actually hear me. Okay, we're good. What's up, guys? It is Friday, and it is actually almost my bedtime. So, I don't normally stay up this late, even on Fridays, but I am really happy to be here with you guys tonight. We've got looks like six people here already. We will go ahead and get right into it. I want to talk about a few different things, but I also want to answer any questions or comments we have in the sidebar. So I'm just going to take my time. And if I'm looking over here, it's just because I am reading your comments and I want to get to everybody's. Uh, Lynn's Rideshare Hustles wants to know if Barclays Red Aviator MasterCard is a scam. It's not a scam, it's just a terrible issuer. It's got a great bonus. You spend it once, you will get almost the same benefits as the City A Advantage card. It's not a bad card. Now, if you want a good card from Barclays, their business version, in my opinion, is quite a bit better. But I did have the personal card, and I think I only used it once. And when I called at the end of the year to maybe product change to what was it, the silver aviator, the customer service was probably the worst I ever experienced in my life. So I just canceled it. And since then, I've never been able to get a Barclays card. And Lynn, as far as them fulfilling their promise, yeah, they do give you 50, 60, or whatever it is, points or miles on one purchase. It's if you've ever been to DFW in Dallas, the adverts are posted everywhere. But yeah, it's not a scam. It's a real card. All right, like I said, guys, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and punch them in there. The first thing I do want to talk about is our favorite international airlines to and miles to. I've been posting a on the community page a sort of a tournament, and just to update everyone with that, Air Canada's Aeroplan beat Air France KLM. Now, both of those international airlines are super, if you ask me. They're both a great place to transfer your airline, your MR points or your UR points. Chad Money Minutes is in the house, guys. If you see him over there, he's a big league redemption guy as well. Okay, but back to the tournament. Aeroplan, I just used Aeroplan to book Singapore Airlines from JFK to Frankfurt, Germany, and it was easy. The website is good. I didn't have to speak to anyone. 60,000 MR points transferred over. And I actually, the way I did that was I transferred Chase UR points and American Express MR points because I had to transfer 180,000 for that. But more recently, Virgin Atlantic defeated the juggernaut British Airways. Now, I did get tons of comments of people saying that with British Airways, they find that there's a lot more deals and a lot more chances to redeem those miles. And I don't know if they're right. You know, British Airways transfers and you can fly American Airlines, but Delta, you can fly Delta Metal with Virgin Atlantic points. So, I think they both have a lot of really great redemption opportunities, but Virgin Atlantic has won that semifinal match. So now we have Virgin Atlantic against Aeroplan. And if you asked me, those are the top two programs in the points and miles games anyway. And I don't know who's going to win that one. I will probably post that poll Monday at noon. So if you are interested, and quite frankly, and if I'm honest, not a whole bunch of people have been interested in that poll. But what I think I've found is a lot of people don't transfer their points to international carriers. But that doesn't mean they're not interested in doing it. So I want to finish out that kind of series we've been doing. And I want to talk more about it because although I know a lot of people aren't doing it, that doesn't mean they don't want to sometime in the future. So Monday, noon Eastern, we'll have the showdown, the finals, the big deal. I'm going to make my prediction, and I am going to go with Virgin Atlantic, which I think they've been the top seed all along. But we'll see. Air Canada's Aeroplan is definitely an awesome place to transfer your miles. What do we have here? John says it's an easy way to get 50,000 American airline miles, and it is. It really is. And American airline miles are valuable. Jerry wants to know where I'm staying for the Vegas meetup. I've had my room at the Waldorf for quite a while now, and there's a lot of people staying at the Waldorf, but we're going to meet in that area. So that's super close. And if you can get a room close there, you'll be in good shape. Lynn's rideshare hustle just applied, and he was approved for the Barclays Red Aviator card. Well, congratulations, Lynn. It is a great card. Oh, yeah. And the DGM just says it takes 3 to 4 months to post. I actually called them because when I had mine, I called Barclays and they said I had to call American. Then American said you had to call Barclays. And I think that was when I had the bad taste in my mouth about Barclays because it was a huge pain in the butt to get those miles. Let me see here. Oh, Chad says that Lynn's Rideshare Hustle has a YouTube channel. So, guys, support our brothers. Lynn's Rideshare Hustle. Check it out. I don't know what it's about. If you want to plug it in here, man, go ahead. But it looks like Chad's seen it. And if Chad approves, it's probably going to be okay. Oh, and Chad, sounds like Chad was a former driver. So, rideshare driver. I did not know that, Chad. That would be a very tough job. John just created an Aeroplan account. Good. You'll know it's a great program. Do your research. We have Aeroplan in a lot of my videos, but there's a lot of redemptions with that one. PG says he doesn't transfer points to airlines. He considers his membership rewards points Hilton points. Well, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm a Hilton fan, obviously. I do like to transfer my MR points to airlines, and I like to use the Hilton credit cards to earn Hilton points. I don't like transferring transferable currencies to hotels, but I have a lot of hotel cards. John Bergdolt, best credit card for Sam's Club and Costco. I don't shop at those places. From what I understand, they only take a certain card. Maybe it's a Visa. And I'm going to say maybe the best card, just off the top of my head, would be the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. If you can do the mobile pay, that'll be 3 points, and then there's 4.5 points within their portal. So you can get quite a bit back with the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve. People will complain it's hard to get. It's not hard to get. Open a free checking account at U.S. Bank. It's free. It's called a silver checking account. And what's cool about that checking account is if you're trying to work on a sub, say from Chase, U.S. Bank will let you fund that checking account with up to $3,000 on a credit card. So what you can do is get a Chase card, open a free U.S. Bank silver checking account, wait till there's some type of checking account bonus. You can get $250 or $500, fund the account with your credit card, and then 2 months later, apply for the Altitude Reserve. You're going to get a checking account bonus, a Chase card bonus, and you're going to get the Altitude Reserve. It's a trifecta. Chad was the real life transporter. I don't not believe that. PG recently applied for his third Chase Ink card. Did you get it, PG? He has a wedding. That's good. Congratulations, man. But with the Chase Ink cards, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there is no real rule on how many you can have or how often you can get them. And the bonuses are always there. It's not like American Express where you can only get the bonus once. I got 2 I actually got three Chase Ink cards: the Chase Ink Cash, the Chase Ink Unlimited, and another Chase Ink Cash in consecutive months. And I got the bonus on all three of them. Yeah, Lynn's rideshare hustle does mention that American Express does have a transfer bonus to Hilton right now. I think it's an okay transfer bonus. Personally, I'm not executing that transfer, but that has more to do with my 1.1 million Hilton honors points right now. I had a little personal challenge, and since I have a million Hilton points, I don't need to transfer any over there. Emilio Jimenez. Luke, do you is that how you say your name? Sorry, is that how you say your name? Jimenez, or is it Jimenez? Luke, do you have any Bank of America Alaska cards? I don't. They're good cards, and everybody talks about how great Alaskan Airlines are. The reason I don't have that card is, well, I also want to mention that Alaska's program partners with American Airlines and has great redemptions worldwide. I was going to say I don't have it because Alaskan Airlines only flies one flight where I live, and it's a direct flight from Columbus to Seattle, which I don't plan on taking for any reason. But it might be worth getting if you wanted to redeem those points on One World Alliance partners. Chad is talking about his Aero plan, 8 cents per point redemption. Guys, if you want to see some of these big league cents per point redemptions, go to Chad Money Minutes YouTube channel. He not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk and he books the flights for sure. What we got here? PCAV 2994. Hey Luke, can you share your favorite redemption and or aspirational redemption which each of the airline finalists? Yeah. Now I will admit that with Air Canada, I'm not super familiar with things I want to do, but I would have to say that the redemption I just did, Air Canada Aeroplan points, booking Singapore Airlines from JFK, New York to Frankfurt, Germany, and I got 3 award seats in business class. Doing that was my wife's first international business class flight and the first time I've ever let my son sit in the front. Super great experience. Let me take a minute to talk about Singapore Airlines so I don't forget it. Singapore Airlines, if you've ever seen the way they do their business, they have these just next level beautiful tall women in traditional Singapore dresses, like real long dresses. I'm trying to be politically correct here, but the way they do their business and the way they perform their service is unmatched. They treated my son like a king. Every time I looked over my shoulder, they were, getting down low, talking to him, asking if he was hungry, asking if he needed this or that. That by itself, the service was so amazing. I want to book another flight on Singapore just for that. Super professional. You could tell they knew their job and they were absolutely great at it. So I'm not sure if I got lost in the weeds there, but if you ever get a chance to fly Singapore Airlines in business, absolutely do it. If you can get first class in the Singapore suites, do that too. Virgin Atlantic. I have booked several Delta flights with Virgin Atlantic. I also booked a Detroit to Amsterdam on Delta One for 50,000 Virgin points. And that was also with a 30% transfer. I didn't go on that flight. I had some issues because we were going to be flying back like the day of the Super Bowl. And not only are we Bengals fans, but we had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And my little boy became a gigantic football fan. So we couldn't be without him for the Super Bowl. I didn't want to do that to him. Got to watch the Super Bowl with the boy. So I had to cancel that and have not been able to find that award availability since then. But when I do, I will take that. I'll either take the Detroit to Amsterdam or I'll take Minneapolis to Tokyo on Delta One for 50,000. Virgin Atlantic points and $6. So that's two for each finalist. Like I said, Aeroplan, you can fly United, you can fly a lot of Star Alliance, and Virgin, you can fly Delta, you can fly a lot of. They're partnered with everybody, so very versatile. David Williams says the silver business checking. They do have. They don't call the personal checking silver. Either way, they have a free checking account on the business side and the consumer side, and they often U.S. Bank. I mean, they often post bonuses, and the bonuses are super easy to get. You deposit X amount of dollars in the account, you let it sit there for 3 months or something, and then you get the bonus. Um, David Williams says he's still waiting for the bonus, so I'm not sure how long that's been, but I got mine. It was pretty easy. Brad says he wants to apply for the Aspire card, but he got put in pop-up jail, Amex pop-up jail. He thinks it's because he recently opened two American Express cards, the Gold and the Delta Gold, just 2 or 3 months ago. Should I wait? Here's the thing about American Express and that pop-up jail, and I know everybody has their own kind of philosophy or their own theory. American Express wants you to run money through those cards. If you appear to be getting a bunch of cards, they're going to slow you down. If you appear to be getting cards with bonuses, they're going to slow you down. They want you to run that card a bit. I'm not in pop up jail, but I know right now tons of people are. You can't just get a card, get the bonus, get another card, get a bonus. They're going to want you to still spend on that first card. So I don't know how long you want to wait, but I would put some spend through it and then maybe get it. You won't be in pop up jail forever. That won't happen. 2 or 3 months. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know how much money you spend, but and I'll put it in perspective. I think last year, I think I ran $100,000 through American Express cards, and I'm not in pop up jail. And I usually, well, most of them I use quite a bit. John says he's working on spending his way out of Amex pop up jail. He wanted the green card and then the platinum. Okay, yeah. Well, those two cards kind of overlap a little bit, but that green card with the new credits, I think, is a keeper. I think that green card is now one of the underrated American Express cards. I canceled mine because it just didn't make any sense. But had it had that clear credit, I think it might have made more sense to me. Oh, PG's going to a friend's wedding. Oh, he's been married. PG's already been married. The application went pending, and then later got the email approval. Chase really kills people with that. We'll get back to you, and then before you could even breathe a sigh of relief and click off the browser, your phone buzzes with an email, and you're approved. Well, congratulations, PG. I'm going to have to come see you when we go down to Puerto Rico. Chad's going to try Singapore. He asked if I booked him through Aeroplan, 60,000 points and very small amount of money with that. It was quite a bit more points and more money to book it through Singapore, which I had to do on the way back. And I did that just because I had a day I had to come back. So the Aeroplan redemption to Germany was a lot better. David Williams says he remember when they caned a guy in Singapore in the 90s. I remember that too. I was in school, and I don't remember a whole bunch of sympathy from my part of the world when they did that. They all pretty much said, don't bother them people and don't do that over there. PM says JFK to Frankfurt on a Singapore as a bucket list for him. You'll like it. You'll definitely like it. It is the old business class. So the hard product is a little bit different than what they have going on now. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter because that service is amazing. Lynn's also in pop-up jail. Jason Kane, he's doing his best not to abandon Thank You as a program. Is Avianca Life Miles more or less able to find the same award as Aeroplan? I now that you mention it, it's a little bit similar, but Avianca Life Miles is a great program to use for flights to Europe. Some of the redemptions I regularly look at on Avianca is Chicago to Zurich, Switzerland, 63,000 life miles. You have Chicago to Vienna, Austria, and that one was on Swiss Airways. Chicago to Vienna, Austria on Austrian Airways. Uh, Here's a pro tip: they have a special rate to Belgium for whatever reason. I think you can do like Washington Dulles to Belgium for 34,000 points. Check that out. It might be similar to that. Maybe it's 40,000, but it's a really good redemption. But yeah, I like Avianca Life Miles. I have not redeemed through Avianca, so I can't really speak through experience. Just that I really like some of their redemptions on paper. John is an elite channel member now. Thank you, John. Welcome to the family. Uh, what is he? Michael Pythium. Thoughts on the built card? Well, if I were a renter, I think it's a no-brainer. Absolutely. I think the transfer partners they have are tip top. I think they have the best of the best transfer partners. I think the card earns, but I don't think it's worth a card slot if you don't rent. So for some people, it is because of the different programs, and maybe they can do some referrals or something like that. I don't have it, and I don't plan on getting it. If I were a renter, I would have it the first day it came out. Delhi Belly. Luke, what's your thoughts on the new annual fee for the American Airlines Executive World Elite card? Doesn't seem like the benefits match up with the annual fee. I was planning on doing a video on this because a lot of people are talking about it. And here's my surface thoughts: it's a high annual fee. If I lived in Dallas, or if I flew out of Dallas, Charlotte, Miami, or LAX, or a American hub, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. Here's why I say it. If you want to climb the status ladder with American, you're probably going to need one of their cards. If you get this card, you're going to get 100,000 miles, which that's worth a lot of money, depending on how you redeem it. But the kicker is $595 for lounge access. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And City also has some pretty good kind of merchant offers and things like that. You have the Simply Miles program. I think you can make quite a bit of that 595 back if they revamp those lounges. There is talk they're going to make them nice and do all that. If you fly solo and you fly American a lot, I think it's doable. Do I think it's a great card? No, I'm not getting it. However, how about this play? You get the card, you get to spend the $10,000, you get the 100,000 American Airlines miles, you do what you need to do to get gold or platinum status with American, and then when that $595 annual fee comes up, you change that joker to another custom cash card. I think that's a great strategy. Something I'm thinking about. Donnie Cox says he hasn't been able to search Avianca for 4 days, and they have had some issues. I did have somebody contact me and let me know that not only could they couldn't transfer points to Avianca, there is some type of issue over there. And that may change the way you think about their program, because it does seem like their IT is a little behind the times. So PG says no audio, or is it just me? Do we have audio, guys? I hope so. I hope it's just you, PG, because I've been talking about you. Somebody let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. Oh. Okay. It looks like we're all good. Jared Mendez just recently got denied for the Amex Gold. My condolences, sir. What should I do next to make sure I get the card? It's perfect for his spending. He's got a 740 credit score. Not many. Do you have a relationship at all with American Express? I would, that's a tough question because American Express just does not deny folks very often. They pretty much approve everyone. I would wait 30 days and do it again. And if you get denied, call them. They're really receptive when people call them over there. No, Delhi Belly. Okay, I'm Appalachian. Different languages are tough for me. All right. Oh, Jason Kane, your opinion on Iberia? I see great rates, but never can find business class space on Avios. Man, I'm right here with you because I've been looking at them hard lately. I don't know what the trick is yet because I can't find business class either. 300 days out, no, because I'm looking at June and July. 14 days, I think that's probably the case. I think it's going to be more of a short term play. I think when I look very, very recent, like next week, I can probably find business class. But if you find out, let us know. Um, that one I'll have to investigate because I have not had any luck. Now, it's almost I can sometimes find premium economy, but I've decided at my age I'm not interested in flying over the pond in economy anymore. Lynn's rideshare hustle has become part of the family with a elite channel member. Thank you, sir. Delhi. Delhi like the city in India. Delhi belly. All right, buddy. I got you. Okay. Looks like I'm caught up on a lot of the questions. If you have any more, just throw them out there. One thing I wanted to talk about was Germany. And it's kind of a weird topic because some of these trips I take are for somewhat of an educational purpose. And obviously, Frankfurt, Germany is not really a vacation spot. It's not even really a tourist spot. So I wanted to take my family over there and we wanted to do, somewhat of an educational trip. Where I live, a lot of folks have a German heritage. It's very common here. Okay, hold on. I'll stop. Stan the Credit Frog is in the house. He is a friend of the channel. He runs an awesome channel himself. He has a really realistic and a really good perspective on credit and credit cards and finances in general. So if you have a moment, check out Stan's channel. It's one of my favorite. But he says he always wondered who is Adam and why don't I want to sit with his kids? So I don't know if anybody even knows this, but I'll go ahead and tell the story. So one of my criticisms or one of my pros for getting the platinum card has always been lounge access. I've always said I'm a big proponent of having lounge access. I think it comes in handy when things go bad. And I think it's just a really nice perk to get in and out of the crowds. I'm at the point in my life where I don't like to be around a bunch of airport travelers. And I would make videos. And one of the pros for having lounge access would be you don't have to sit out there in the terminal with everybody's kids that are sneezing and coughing and running around. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You'll sit there and there'll be a kid with an iPad on full blast. There'll be some other guy yelling at his cell phone with the speaker on. But the kids that are running around, I would always mention, I don't want to sit out there with everybody's kids doing this and that. You guys know some people have bad kids, terrible kids. So Adam comments on my channel. Adam J, I think it's Adam J. He says, I'm very offended that you would say that about people's children. I travel with my children all the time. I'm very offended of you and I'm unsubscribing. Goodbye, click. So ever since then, instead of kids, they're Adam's kids. So, because obviously he has the kids that act like that. So I didn't say anything. I didn't really respond to it. I don't think, but maybe I'm just being petty. But instead of kids, they're Adam J's kids. So Stan, does that make sense? Let me see. Oh, I missed. Okay, we got Stan's question in there. Emilio Jimenez says he booked Iberia business class for May of 2024. I'm going to look for that then. I'm going to, that's a great idea because I like to leave at the end of May when the boys' school lets out. David William, Heidelberg, Rotenberg. I have a funny story about that. I'll go ahead and talk about that. I booked a tour, and that's kind of like what we like to do. We like to book tours with these local guides, get that local perspective, and try to get to know them. Not to get to know them, but to kind of, uh-oh. Chad says we got some heavy hitters. I know Stan's in here. Who else we got? Abdullah He's World is here. He's a hitter. But anyway, so I booked this trip, and it is Frankfurt to Neuschwanstein Castle and Rothenburg. Now, this was going to be our last day in town. We were really excited about going to Rothenburg. It's a medieval village. It's walled. It's got all the old architecture, all that good stuff. So the guy comes and he picks us up at 8:30 in the morning, and we start heading to Neuschwanstein Castle. That's the castle that Disney kind of modeled their Sleeping Beauty off of, or whatever it is. Big deal. You go down there and look at it. Well, I didn't know it was 4 hours away. So the guy keeps saying, well, we can't go to Rothenburg first because we might not have enough time for the castle. Whatever he did, I'll cut this really short. We drove 4 hours to Neuschwanstein Castle, and this dude scheduled our tour for 2 hours after we got there. So we hung out for 2 hours, had lunch, and then did the Neuschwanstein Castle tour. By the time we turned around and went the 2 or 3 hours north to Rothenburg, everything was closed. And the guy kind of drove around the village once and left. So I didn't get to see much of Rothenburg. Really cool, though. I suggest everybody go there. Go there on your own because all it is a town, and you can walk around. It's really cool shopping. We actually had planned on buying all our souvenirs and stuff that last day. We didn't come home with any souvenirs. But yeah, David William, really cool place. That whole we did do the Rhine River cruises and the Main River cruises, and we had some good tours. We had some good times. The Platinum OG. He earned 500,000 UR points this year. Me too. I think I've redeemed 500,000. Now he wants to hit Amex hard and fast. Special emphasis on Hilton. All right, I'm tracking. How would you go about it? I put 50 or 60K through the credit cards a year. This is what, well, I think, okay. So the Hilton credit cards is where I like to earn my Hilton points. I don't like to transfer my MR points out to that. But with Hilton, you have 4 credit cards. And depending on how many American Express slots you have, you can run through all 4 of them in a year. Absolutely. And they all earn. So what I just did, I had the Aspire card, and late last year or middle of last year, I got the Surpass. I put 15K on the Surpass. I got the bonus plus the free night. Now, when the annual fee hit on the Surpass, the same time the annual fee hit on my Aspire, I upgraded my Surpass to a second Aspire, and then I applied for the business card. So you hit all it's. I don't want to get too far down into the rabbit hole with it, but get the cards and upgrade the cards. Put the spend on the cards. With the Surpass and the business card, people disagree with me a lot, but I recommend spending that 15K on them because you're going to build up a lot of points and you're going to get a free night. And you can get all 4 if you want. Yeah, skip the platinum and load. Honestly, it's hard for me to say to ever skip the platinum because the platinum is I like the platinum. But if you want Hilton cards or if you want Hilton points, oh, my glasses crooked. If you want Hilton points, get the Hilton cards and run them. They earn on dining, groceries, gas. The business card earns on cell phones and dining and gas and shipping. Times 6 on all that, times 12 at least for the Hilton properties. Pretty easy to get. Right now I'm sitting at 1.1 million Hilton points by doing that, and I still spend on it. Oh, Jason Kane, still Team Omega. I'm not wearing a watch, guys. Yeah, I'm still Team Omega. I went in and bought the Seamaster 300 with the intention of making that purchase to get on the list for a Rolex Explorer 2. And I was down in that town the other day and I wasn't able to stop at that store. But really soon I'm going to stop there and say, ask Joe, where's my daggone Explorer 2? They can't be in that much demand. People don't even like that watch. But yeah, I'm still Team Omega. I won't sell that one. I won't sell that first one. The second one, I might sell. Lance Jones, most preferable Hilton hotels. This is what I found. I have found you get more bang for your buck at the higher end hotels. And this is how my house goes. My wife prefers the Waldorfs. I prefer the Conrads. So that's pretty much the only two Hiltons I'm going to be staying at for the foreseeable future. John, LOL, Luke, were you at the same terminal on my flight? I had the same experience with people and loud device. Hey, John, that's why airport lounges are so great. I I was probably at the same terminal. John Cannon says, continue the pettiness. Now, listen, now you guys know when I say you don't have to sit out there with Adam J's kids. You don't. You're better than that. Let Adam sit out there with his own kids by himself. Platinum OG, Bora Bora, Maldives, eyeing the now. Sorry. The Conrad Bora Bora actually still has a lot of standard rooms in next June and July. I keep looking at it. I keep thinking about taking my family there, but the only thing that holds me back is that extra flight and the extra kind of pain in the butt for something that's kind of like a better Hawaii. So we're actually thinking about going back to Hawaii next year. William G, thank you, sir. I appreciate the thanks. So yeah, Bora Bora would be so fun, but I'm also afraid there might not be enough for my boy to do there. That might be more of a couple's relaxation and living the good life, and maybe not great for a 7-year-old that wants to run around crazy. John McKinstry, what's a good way to get an upgrade on the Hilton cards? Now, listen, you're going to hear a lot of YouTubers talk about, well, I got the no annual fee card. And then a year later, they gave me this offer of 100,000 points to go up to the SERP. I don't think those offers are around anymore. Just in my experience, I've never gotten one. I've had all the Hilton cards. I've never gotten that offer. So I don't think the strategy of upgrading and downgrading to collect points is a valid strategy right now. Your mileage may vary. You may get those offers. I have not. I would get the card, hit the bonus, and with the Surpass and the business card, you don't actually need an upgrade if you can put the $15,000 spend on it in 1 year because you get the free night. Now, one thing I have found out too is nobody talks about this, but the co-branded, some of the co-branded American Express business cards seem to be churnable. Everybody says that Amex has a one bonus per lifetime, and they say, well, that's more like 7 years. I think the co-branded business cards don't have that rule. I think you can churn those. Now, I'm not sure if that is with a different business, but this is my second Hilton business card, and I got the bonus for both of them. I've had two Blue Business Plus cards. I got the bonus for both of them. Okay, let me see where we got here. What's it? William G. Hello, my friend. I just discovered you and this points and miles game, as you call it, missions. Thank you for the valuable info. William G, welcome to the family. We argue about a lot of stuff, but we're all here for the same thing, and we're all learning from each other. Deli Belly, got it right. My holder of any Barclays credit cards. They always seem to have some good subs with the air. I have no Barclays credit cards, and I don't think you're going to hear about me applying for any Barclays credit cards. I just don't like the bank. I don't like the issuer. I do think, however, that the American Airlines business card is a really good card. If I thought they would approve me for it, I would probably apply. I also want to say that people will argue this also, but I have seen reports that Barclays business cards have been reported to your credit bureaus. Take that for what it is. I don't know for sure, but I have read that. Yeah, David Williams says flights from Tahiti to Bora Bora are kind of expensive. They are. You would think they wouldn't be, but I think I can't remember what they were last time I looked. Maybe $500, $400 each. So, so I mean, you're already doing a huge trip and a very expensive and time consuming trip, and then you add a $1,500 on top of that. It's tough, and I don't think you can redeem with points. You could probably do Chase redemption or a Capital One purchase eraser. So I guess you could. The D Gym Grand Walea on Maui is a great Hilton redemption. Lots of stuff for kids. You're reading my mind, and if we do go to Hawaii next year, it's probably going to be there. Or the property, Emilio Jimenez says Waldorf in Maui, good availability. It's a great redemption. We may split those two. My wife and son really liked Hawaii. It wasn't one of those places where I really felt. I mean, I won't complain if I have to go to Hawaii again. Yeah, PG says he has the no annual fee Hilton card and he's never gotten an upgrade offer. I don't think those are around anymore. I think the people who are kind of I think they're in good faith passing on that information, but I think that's not fresh information. Cesar's coming though. Where's he? Where is Cesar? Oh, there he is. Cesar Joel. And guys, if I pronounce people's names right, I pronounce a lot of things incorrectly. It's I'm not disrespectful. I'm just the way I am. William G wants some personal advice. Sit down, nephew. Have decent spend and want to travel more. Only have Saver One and Venture One. Should I go Amex or start with Chase, continue with Capital One? Okay. These are the two options I would recommend, and it's just me. You guys know I'm an Amex fanboy, but I would call Capital One and change. You could call Capital One and change the Venture One to a Venture X. Everybody will scream and yell that you'll miss out on the bonus. If the bonus is that important to you, then don't use that strategy. I changed my Venture One to a Venture X with no bonus because I didn't think I'd get approved for the card. And I've not had any problem, no regrets. I don't really use the Venture X, but I've gotten some great use out of it as far as referrals and things like that. Or you can start hitting up Chase. I don't think it's ever going to be, and you guys know I'm not a huge Chase personal card guy. I don't think it's ever going to be a bad idea to get a Chase trifecta. I think that's a great thing to start out with, and then you can move on from there. I wouldn't skip the Chase, I don't think, and I did. I don't think if I could go back in time, I don't think I would skip Chase again. Hope that helps. Oh, I know I missed okay. Abdullah, what cashback cards do I currently hold? A lot. I have the US Bank Cash Plus. I have a US Bank Cash Plus clone from a regional bank called Park National. It's the same thing, 5% on two categories up to 2,000 spend in a quarter. I have the Wells Fargo autograph. I really have a lot. I have the Navy Federal. Ah, man, Sledge's card. What's it called? Flagship. Navy Federal Flagship. I have the SoFi MasterCard. I have the Fidelity Visa Signature 2% cashback card. I have. mm, I don't know. You put me on the spot. I don't use them, so I do use the U.S. Bank Cash Plus, but maybe I'll do a video pretty soon with all my cashback cards because I do have fantasies of moving over to cashback one day. We'll see how that goes. Oh, Cesar's in DC. Nice, man. I love DC. What's such a cool town. Hope you're having a good time, man. Safe travels. Lance Jones, in your credit journey, at any point, have you ever been team cashback? Here's what my very first, well, I have a couple different, you know, different journeys. When I think I started with Capital One and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And back in these days, maybe 2009, the only thing I did was spend everything on them, get the bonuses, and convert them to Amazon gift cards. I was a shopaholic, and that's all I did. I didn't travel. I didn't understand the game. I didn't do any of that. But something happened, and the annual fee hit on the Sapphire Preferred, and I canceled it. And then, like no time later, I applied for another one, and they gave me another one. And I did the same thing. Stupid, I know, but this is before I had any idea how the game went. That's why it took me so long to get back into the chase world. But this most recent sort of a few years ago, I had debt, and I've told this story on here before, but I had debt. I got with the Dave Ramsey gang and got a really good plan and got rid of all my debt and all my credit card debt. And not too long after that, I got the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. Great card, cashback card. The next card I got was I think it was the Wells Fargo Propel card. Those two cards, great. And then I had the Visa, the Fidelity Visa card, the 2% cashback card that put your money into a Fidelity brokerage account. So with those three cards, I was super team cashback, and I was doing really well. Those three cards helped me save up for my first rental property. I love team cashback. I love that time period. That was great. Before COVID hit, um, I decided I wanted to learn the points and miles game because I always thought it was ridiculously complicated and I never even looked at it. And I started getting into it, found Ask Sebi, and that's a wrap. I got into it, decided I wanted to do this, um, and I've been team travel ever since. And the travel part really did spark with my work sent me to Santa Cruz, and I decided to take my little boy and my wife with me, and we had a blast. So I said, you know what? Traveling's fun. I've done a lot of traveling when I was younger. That's what got me back into it. So yeah, I have been team cashback, and I am going to be slowly moving to kind of a hybrid. So we'll do some more. Oh, I also have the Amazon Visa Prime Visa, whatever it's called. I just ordered all my new YouTube equipment with that. Got the 5% back. John Corbett. Hey Luke, I can't agree more on the lounge access. I got stuck at LGA for 10 hours last month. My condolences. If I didn't have the Delta Sky Club access, I would have lost it. I feel you, man. I got kicked off. Well, I didn't get kicked off. We got a flight canceled in Miami one night. And while all of Adam's kids hung out in the terminal, I went back to the Centurion Lounge. And you can imagine, we got deboarded. We had to deboard the plane. You imagine you could just feel the frustration and the people mean and nasty, and everybody's going crazy. You don't need to be around that. Go to the lounge, get you one of those fruity drinks, hang out, maybe get some work done. Lounge access is priceless sometimes, man. You know. PG says if you go, do yourself a favor. If you go to Grand Walea, stay a night or two at the Andaz. Yeah, I might. See, we'll see. I have a new hotel strategy, and I'm going to make a video for that, and it'll be out this week. I think it's going to be really interesting for some of you guys. He liked it more than the Hilton. Well, the Andaz is really nice. William G, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. You guys are being awesome tonight. Okay, Cesar Joel. So, Luke, just to be sure, are you Team Classic Gold or Team Rose Gold? All right, I'll answer it like this. Because I am a big, huge fan of CJ. I'll say like this. If my wife knew you could get a rose gold card, she would get a rose gold card. I would stick to the classic original gold card. So I would have both. So I'm kind of copping out. and that's just because I like CJ. Dom's, Miles, Points, and more is tuning in. Still doing that meetup in Vegas in September. Absolutely. The details, there aren't a lot of details. We're going to meet up in Vegas on what is it, September 1st? Let me check my calendar. September 2nd, Saturday, September 2nd. We are going to go to a place called Italy, is on the strip there. It's kind of an open public space. It's not going to be a super organized um, formal thing. It's going to be very informal. We're all going to meet up, hang out, and we're kind of going to let this happen organically. A bunch of Points and Miles nerds in a big giant place like that with alcoholic beverages. We'll see what happens. And I think we're going to do that about 5 or 6. So we'll kind of get back with some details, but that's about it. September 2nd, be in Vegas and be at Italy. Oh, John says the rose gold is pink. Yeah, it is. I mean, Chad, his wife likes the rose gold one also. I hope my wife didn't hear me say that because she'll be wanting me to order her a rose gold pretty soon. Justin wants to know who all has confirmed. I don't know if I can speak for anyone else as far as confirmation, but Chad is on here. I'm pretty sure Chad's going to be there. Pretty sure the other guys you've mentioned are going to be there. I know Dugras is going to be there. Um, I still have a couple other people that I have reached out to that do not want to confirm because they're super busy people. But there's a chance some big leaguers will be there. There is a chance some bigger names might show up. Some bigger names that are in Vegas a lot. Um, I don't know for sure, but it would be really cool if one or two of those guys did show up. Cesar is going to be there for sure. So it'll just be, honestly, it's hard for me to answer that. There could be like 5 of us hanging out. There could be quite a bit more. Chase Yokoyama, I think, is showing up. He's got some other engagements to take care of, but I think he's going to make it for at least a little while. Should be fun. David Williams says, "Have I done any Amtrak trips? I have not. One, I don't know if it's the same thing, but one trip I think I might want to do soon is I want to take that Florida rail from Orlando down to South Florida. I want to fly to Orlando, do a 2 or 3 days at the Disney complexes, and hop on that rail to Miami and finish it off with doing absolutely nothing but hanging out at the pool. Maybe meet up with Chad Money Minutes at the Conrad Fort Lauderdale. But I'm open to it. I am doing a road trip this fall, and I would be open to an Amtrak trip. Straight Q'd will be there. His wife is going to Vegas for that weekend. We will see you. Very Chinny was denied the Chase Inc. 100,000 bonus last week. He has one Chase Inc. 75K in IHG business, but got denied for a third one. That's interesting. Did they give you a reason or did you call them? A lot of times, if you call them, if you talk to someone and you're actually decent to them and nice to them, they may be able to work something out with you. Oh, Cesar says RJ's going. Anthony Venture, Sledge, Chad, and Chase. Did RJ fully commit? He doesn't like to commit, so we'll see if he's coming. He's one of my favorite guys too. Being a team travel guy, I don't ever miss a RJ video. I love his team cashback perspective, and I think some of that would do me well. Oh, Hip Hop Thinker says the Disney rate is going up. What's not going up? Oh, and I'm sorry, I misread it. At the rate Disney is going, it may not be there. Yeah, you're probably or half of it'll be closed. Maybe they'll consolidate it all on just Magic Kingdom. Lance Jones, do you think Amex will take on the Apple Card? I don't. It sounds romantic and it sounds like it would fit their kind of style, but to me, that's two juggernauts. I don't think so, and I also don't think it makes any sense because Amex doesn't do real cash back. Isn't the Apple Card cash back into a bank account? I just I know a lot of people have commented on it, and some people say it looks like a match made in heaven, and it makes sense. I just don't think it's going to happen. Who is Apple going to? I don't know that either. But I also want to say Amex has Amazon, so does Chase. That's a good question. That's something I have not really thought about, but it'll be really interesting. Apple may just clear all this and start their own card issuer in their own bank. Chad says it's always a good time when the bosses hit the beach. Maybe we can do a secondary meetup at the Conrad in Fort Lauderdale once the weather cools off. Us Ohio people, us Midwestern people, when the leaves start changing and the first snow falls, we have to break it down to Florida. Matt Clausen will be there. Oh, he will not be there. I'm sorry. I'm not reading anything correct. That's okay, Matt. You will see the social medias. We'll create a hashtag just for our escapades there, and there should be plenty of shorts and plenty of Instagram photos and all that good stuff. Oh, Amanda Holt wants to take her son to Epcot. How does she get her husband to use his points and miles to pay for the flights and the hotel for us? Guys, if you're not aware, that's my wife. She has her own hotel points, her own Chase cards. Glenn Ardonia is in the house. Glenn Ardonia is the most affluent Filipino in Dubai, if you guys didn't know that. What's up, Glenn? He's going to be soon the most affluent Filipino in Prague, Czech Republic. Deli Belly, are there any benefits to having the Charles Schwab Amex Platinum versus the rate? Yes, there's a benefit. It's you get to cash out your points at 1.1. A lot of people will say that you can only get 0.6 for your personal, regular, vanilla platinum card. That's not exactly true. If you have a business checking account, you could be cashing them out for 1 cent per point. In that case, would it be worth getting a whole other card just to cash them out at 1.1? Maybe, maybe not. It might be worth it just to get the card for the bonus. I've had the Charles Schwab. I don't have it now. Sorry. I had it when you could cash it out for 1.25. 1.1 was too low for me. Okay, CJ. He wants to do another meetup at the Grand Hyatt in the Bahamas. How about we do the meetup at that Baha Mar in the Bahamas? It's a Hyatt, just as good, but we can bring kids. Yeah, YouTube Experiment says Sears was their own credit card issuer, so it makes sense that Apple could do it. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, CJ, put it together, man. You put it together, I will be there. Bahamas is like a quick little puddle jump from Miami. Go down to Miami for a couple of days. Go to my favorite place, either the Conrad in Fort Lauderdale or the Cabana, the Hilton Cabana in it's not South Beach, Miami Beach. Then we'll head over to Bahamas for a couple of days. Put it together, man. I'm with you. All right, guys. It is 9 o'clock, and I really hate to break this short, but you guys know I don't stay up later than this. But I appreciate everybody coming on here. I appreciate the super thanks, and I appreciate the new members of the Elite Channel family. And remember, guys, check out the links in the description if you want to get any new cards. And stay tuned next week. I will have a video with my hotel strategy that may be interesting to a lot of you. But I appreciate everybody coming in here. and I will see you next time.